Hello, hello. I'm Steph, your Inkblot Oracle. Thank you so much for being here. When you are ready to perceive and receive symbolic support and spiritual guidance and choose your own adventure, let's go. Here are your gateways. Gateway 1, we have a third eye tile with a tarot card. Number 1, any shapes or symbols are standing out to you. Any immediate sensations if you want to follow that, or you can comment below, of course. We have Gateway 2, taking the colors, the shapes, the tarot card that supports as well, the Ace of Wands if that calls. And last but not least, we have here number 3 and the tarot card. I will see your gateway chosen so you can receive guidance through these gateways towards whatever breakthrough or barriers that you're busting through like the Kool-Aid man. And I love it. I'll see you at your choice chosen. Number 1, we'll take a deeper look. If you want to wander into this, we're going to use the Shaman's Palm layout, of course, and we'll wander through the caves. So there is light in your heart here. You light up my life. There is someone, whether this is love, that a romantic love, love for your job, career, friends, etc. But I just want to step forward first and foremost for somebody in the spirit in the afterlife realm that is sending you love. And just like you are the light of their life, like we would look up and see a star and think of them, they look down and see a candle flame and think of you and feel you. It's gorgeous. So please know that if you are looking up, they are looking down. 7 of Wands is your card to support. There's some sensation here in this game. It's almost like taking my breath away, and I'm trying to acclimate. So you might be working with light language, gold energy. Let's find another word. Godly, like angels and such, ascended masters, really close to source. And however, whatever system, whatever schooling, whatever programming helps you feel that securely, because there's something about security here, and not just like, oh, like connected and secured to source, acknowledging it's like that, starshine in the sky to the candle flame is one of the same, just different reflections of even maybe your own source energy, and tapping in not only to your solar plexus potentially, but it does feel radiant. And it feels as though, does the sun work harder to radiate through? I don't know. Having the contemplation with you. Or is it just is? And while there may be a myriad of weather systems and continents and locations and longitudes and latitude, maybe you're also thinking about getting some sun. If there's seasonal depression here, or if it's been gray and rainy. And while there's many different systems of the weather all around the sun, does the sun dim and not dim according to, or does it just be its source? And all of the other systems just, give us this perception or illusion that it is more or less sunny today. I'm just wandering through the sensation, and maybe that's how you're navigating emotions, static, people, places, or things, collective to interpersonal, and sailing those kinds of seas. But sailing the seas of your solar plexus with the heart, and it feels like if I could see one of those coral reefs, like little things on the end with all the little eyeballs, but they're all suns. You also may have a lot of suns. You might also be reading the Law of One. It's like there's just feelers out here. Woo! I love it. 7 of Wands as well, whatever that might mean to you, however you might land into 7 Wands, but I read art first. That is where my adventure resides, and you are welcome to do the same and or follow. I want to note as well, like the coloring of her cushion here is this. It's like sitting on the sun, sitting on your source space, sense of, and feeling very secure about that. I also want to know, like, I don't know if this is like this gateway towards Unto, recognizing, embracing your own sourceness. To, spirit, if you're working with spirit or connecting to a god, goddess, deity specifically. It feels like I'm going to use the term faith, but rooting in for those with religion, amazing. And then wandering outside of that for others that maybe that don't have a home religion, but that same sensation of ultimate faith in just being you, or how you move, what opportunities come your way. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not explaining it well, but it's like you don't have to be religious to embrace faith. Eye of the needle, intentionality, maybe that has something to do with it. What you decide, what your intention is, and like blasting it with love and light. Balancing on one foot. It's the earth and the essence bridge and blend. I also feel like your gateway to your breakthrough is in gratitude. And that might seem like a very, well, of course it is, Stephanie. Of course I am grateful. But there's something different about this. There's something different about this kind of grace. It illumes. It is not just said from the intellect. It is not just known in the heart. It radiates. Dust devil, moving out of stagnation. Yes. Can I flip it? I feel like I want to flip it already, and I'm going to listen to that. I think I'm hearing Madonna. Does somebody have a favorite Madonna song or something that feels very empowering in Madonna? Life force energy is coming through, universal life force energy. And I feel like this might be helping us in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to go back to the example of like seasonal depression and having like a certain light, maybe it's red light or however that would be used, I don't know, and basking in that, and it helps break out of some sort of stagnation. And if this message is just for one, thank you for holding space. If you're in a state of depression and you feel like spirit has like just left you, and however you relate to the word spirit as a person, if there's someone specifically, if you're grieving, God, your faith, etc., right? But it has that feeling, if I can tap into that just for a moment, compassionately, and saying like, I feel, maybe you're in a space, if you're normally very sensitive and like things go blank, it's like they go mute sometimes, and it's like, has your sensitivity, your spirit left you? Is you could be in a space to prepare for the next expression of your psychic sensitivity, of your solar plexus, it's like you, me, but you moving to a different location. Maybe you're also traveling, but just even in the energetic bodies, it might appear like spirit has left. Maybe that guide, that mentor, that master, because you're shifting now. So it might feel desolate. Like, what happened? Like the desert, things have gone dry. But it's like as you move out of that, because you're going, I'm going to say next level. And I know that can be a cheesy way to say it, but it's really simple and you can do with it what you will. And as like a new guide is coming in, getting to know each other, feeling it out. So when those transmissions or downloads or inspirations come in, you'll trust and you'll be like, oh, the lights are back on. I also want to know for any other psychics and sensitives and empaths and feelers and healers out there, when we have those moments when it feels like the lights go off, you can rest. I know the world still wants us to trudge on and say, but gotta do this, gotta make money, gotta Feed the algorithm. Gotta feed the people. Your audience members, your people, your clients, whatever the case is, will take your lead as the example, the radiance of that. So are you feeding an algorithm, or are you cohabitating and co-feasting, right? And if you say, I'm taking a break, or whatever the case is, how people say it, or I'm going to not be able to post as much because I'm honoring that listening system, it's almost like the space of, you don't need to keep it like a shameful secret. It's actually a wisdom being shown. And yes, it does take bravery. It does take bravery. So be brave, beautiful. Be brave, be brave. In the Cave of Winds, we have here Sky Bridge, possibility for union. And this is that coming together. I feel like, you know, in your mind of minds, subconscious, preconscious, unconscious, superconscious, and however you connect, this is all very spirit oriented. God, source, you, internal, external, and how you reflect and exchange information, how you exchange support. And it's like becoming, somebody also might work for a union or a place that is becoming unionized. What is the intention of that? Does that help move and empower the people? Does it give control to another entity? You know what I mean? Like, there's just things, but I'm going to stay in the space of union. It's like bridging the conscious and the subconscious together, or bridging the unconscious and conscious together. And I want to come back into this radiance. And I almost feel like I'm seeing an apple seed that's cut open and it just goes, whoa. Maybe also a lemon. Thank you. A lemon. It's actually more of a lemon seed. And you're going to take the path to the higher self, even in your mind contemplations. What serves your highest good or potential? In the Cave of Hearth Fires is a tidy house, clarity and organization, kind of like that unionized thing, getting everything set up. You're the number one. You are numero uno, the one sun, right? Raw. It is cleaning almost the solar plexus energy area. And however you might want to go about that, maybe just lay there, not just like lay there, but you know what I mean? Maybe you lay intentionally and place a crystal there. Maybe you lay there and you write an intention or a loving note to yourself and put that piece of paper on there. Maybe you work with fire and you burn a bay leaf, or you put something up. You get the gist anyway. There's so many examples. And you can, there's also something about being creative here. Yeah, being creative. And not only when you're organizing, because something could be coming into like organization, not stifling, not so strict you can't move. You know, like when sometimes people have those houses that are so clean and tidy, you're like, I can't move, I can't live. What's going on? You know, like lovely, but it's like being in a museum, or if you disrupt anything. This isn't like that. This is a tidy house that is clear, and it's heartfelt, and it's homey for you, first and foremost, to show and lead by example your energy of the source of that. Does that make sense? Now, whether this is personal, professional, corporate, creative, romantic, platonic, it's like you're not going to rearrange or decorate your house for everybody else who may or may not come into it. It's for you first, because you are the king or queen of said abode, of your castle, apartment, trailer, home, townhouse. Choose words. You set the stage. What is a house and what is a home? Cave of Rivers. In the hand, the universe is your partner. Like, really? It's like, this is this. That's you. It's like the space in between is the bridge. Also, something about levitating. It's curious, eh? She could be kind of levitating. It could appear that way. I feel like it's that lightening up thing, just lighting up where it almost feels like your energy body could be levitating. Do you ever play that game? Light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board. Your energy body is lighting up. And for any of, the it's almost like that's the shadow transformed. Because sometimes, and there's a lot of talk about shadow work, and that's fantastic. But it's to transform the shadow. Bring it to the light. Let it see the day. Hey. Anyway, you get the gist. Universe is your partner in all this. You know it. I know it. It's your little light secret of sorts. And I think you've been asking for it. And this feels like all of the gratitude in the world. In the cave of earth is jeweled web connectivity. Still more lights. And I love it. It's all right here. It's all around. And they're all right there. Like all these ends are there. On the bottom is lost in space, needing direction. Maybe you've been asking for direction. Living on a Prayer. Is that the Madonna song? Or something about a prayer? Whatever this song is by Madonna, it's something about a prayer. What are those kinds of flowers? Are they daffodils or buttercups? I gotta hydrate the human. Daffodils and buttercups? Summertime might also be a better season for you. And for others, it's hot as nards. And like for myself, definitely prefer the shade. It gets too hot and it actually drains me. So, but you might be waiting for that, or those buckets in between of like spring and fall. I feel like though there's something about reading. And so it's like how it can like radiate in through reading. If it is cold where you are in winter, etc., you can read to still receive and radiate like it's summer for the mind and body, energy body. So when it's physically expressed as spring or summer and the energy pops off, you're prepared. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Okay, closing out message for gateway number 1. Ooh, what do we have here? Abundance. It's almost like all of these flowers that we are talking about, kind of like the 7 of Wands, and however that might mean to you, pointing at you. It's like you can gather them up. It's like, oh my goodness, thank you for all of my gifts. This cleaning, blah, 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 I can't get my words out. This cleaning, the dust devil. It's like the Tasmanian devil, maybe a little bit of chaos that you've been through. Okay, so funnel it. But I imagine a vacuum cleaner because that's my tool of choice, but you utilize your own tool for your mind too. Okay, if this is all chaos, I'm going to start funneling this and putting it in a clear container or a bag and, cleaning up that heart and home of sorts. But as it's like you ascend up into this, it just makes sense. It makes sense. It's like bridging the benefits of 2 different seasons or months or days. There are snails in here. Sometimes it feels slower than others. Some days are longer than others. I think they're buttercups that I'm seeing. But this feels amazing. You're very, very connected, closer than ever before, or we're talking about that guide, that new guide would be coming in, and then reconnected in, right? It might have felt a little, what's going on, blank, black screen, mute, oh my goodness. maybe your dream stopped, whatever the case is, or you're just not feeling it. Like that's, we can say it here. You're just not feeling it. And so it's not about busying yourself with other things, but you just start picking one thing at a time, one room, whatever the case is, one book, one chapter, however you want to go about it. And then ding, 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 you are turned back on. This guide comes in and says, oh, okay, we're ready to go. We're ready to go. Sorry about that if you felt alone while we were changing off. For them, it was like 4.2 milliseconds. But you needed that time as well. Because we can hold on to our comfort zones. And you're being connected to a bigger zone. Okay, all right. I hope this did serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next Saturday for our weekly pick a card. You can check out my other channel at House of Scrying for stories in between. And if not, till next time. So much love. Bye. Okay, number 2. You're welcome to comment below what you see, sense, or feel. Toss your own oracle cards as well. We're going to scry in shapes, etc. Drop an emoji. Let me know what you chose. And your tarot card is the Ace of Wands. Okay, so your gateway is through the crown and third eye space, very specifically. Something about eyeshadow or changing eyeshadow colors. I feel, I'm going to say this, if you're used to me by now, especially from my other channel, I love me some spooky and some eerie, but not scary. It's a resting in peace. And it feels like, when you've had like maybe a business meeting or some dinner company, and then you're going to retreat to some room and you're going to have a brandy or something. I'm not a drinker, but I'm just seeing this maybe a glass of wine. For me, it would be smoking a coffee because, I'm that girl. But you would retreat and go, and you would just have that time. And you're like, it's quiet. That's what this feels like. It feels like high class. And the interesting thing here in like your gateway, it seemingly leads to more like and we're very early on here, and I realize I'm already yammering, like a prophetic presence. Prophetic presence. That's how I'm going to lead into that. And it has this air, this perspective. I'm not going to lie. It feels very rest and peace. I also feel like if there is some of the days past in your life that you are wondering, curious, thinking about, are they resting in peace? Are they happy? Absolutely. And I say that seeing it right here. What peace is, they are a part of. Whatever we can imagine, the beauty of that is. And it's almost like I want to say what we thought it was, what we talked about, what we dreamt that it would be like, it is. This is like that brandy glass. That's why it came through. Or I think that's what a brandy glass is. Or like a very bougie kind of like spirit cup, right? So it's very cup oriented, but it's like high class emotions. Take cups wherever you want them to go in the spirit of the tarot or of water, of the emotions. But with the Ace of Wands here, it's like when those bartenders can make drinks and add a little flamboy, little flamage to it all. But everyone's like really calm and cool. It's not like, ooh, this is like, it's the way I like it. I am so probably like, I'm not honestly trying to make a mockery of this. I'm trying to exude how calm this feels. Because it's like a personal prophecy that you had for yourself, not what your parents said, not what your grandparents said. Now, maybe there is trickles of that in your lineage, skipping a few generations. I just heard skipping a few generations. So you've always been like touched by this prophecy, but you always had the freedom to choose otherwise. And however you've done this, you've chosen it. And now it like floods in. And I got to say, if it hasn't already, your third eye, maybe even in the spirit of that, having gone through the fire initiation, but there's something about it. Okay, so maybe it's like just also flame. Maybe the word it's the flame, because now the flame's handed to you. So you're the guardian, possibly of this very gateway that leads to prophecies that other persons, other people, places, or things, souls are attracted to, because they might also be looking for affirmation, validation, some questions. And you are like the elder of that because you've been handed the flame. It's like you're the torchbearer. Thank you. Oh my God, that's a long winded way. But it's like you guys get together and like this, I don't know, it's bougie and I like it. It's all very high class. It's all very high class. Yeah, I see winner down here if anyone has a question about winning. There's also something about mermaids and sirens coming through. And there's like a silent call. It's only silent to like me listening through my ears. This is like a call that comes in, like the lighthouse sending out its signal through the light, but you can hear the light. You can hear the light. You can hear the light. Somebody getting a new purse or satchel. Goddess card 2 is coming in the cave of ice. Okay, so it's like now birth on the bottom. Thank you. This card, if you want to take in the artistry, that's what I do. This is in the cup. This energy. If I was looking at this cup face down, this is what I would be seeing. I really enjoy somebody's new purse. It's very classy, pretty, fun, satchel even. It's like smelling fresh leather or something like that. Mm. Something about winding down. It's like winding down after that dinner or company. Something about when you were born. And it's kind of like this, you were wrapped in this prophecy cloth. Like you always had a choice. Sorry, goddess. Yes, I see you coming through. I wasn't ignoring you. What's that song? You're as cold as ice. It's just like celestial, ethereal blue that might give the impression of cold to touch. But you've got the warmth here as well. Your warmth is purple blue. Your cool is blue gold. Does that make sense? The energy that you work with, that you align with. There's a lot of feminine energy here, not to be confused with male or female expression. This is just feminine energy in high class society, and maybe high, and I'm not trying to in the whole hierarchy of humanness. I also don't want to poo-poo it. This just feels by actions, by choices. It just is. It's a perspective, a higher self perspective that holds itself to standards that maybe meet another realm. I don't know, another they meet the needs of. It's very curious here. For some of you, you might just be stepping into it or accepting it, like you've been, because of you choosing it. And it's like, well, now you got to step into like really accept it and like take in that this is the quality of people. Again, I don't want it to imply like a poo-pooing of anyone else. But you do belong there. I'll tell you that. They know it, you know it, and you have all the time in the world to acclimate because you do not need to merge or become lookalikes. There's no spiritual step forward kind of syndrome here. There's no spiritual slong in it, you know? It just is. And I'm hearing that song, Nirvana, Come As You Are, as you were, not as they want you to be, not as IUE may want to think, well, how does that look? You will kind of find it along the way and it will change. It's like getting a new purse. You have a purse for this, or a bag or a shirt. You have shoes for this kind of outing, that kind of outing. You can dress alike, not dress alike. There really is like an odd sense of no judgment here. It's just it's a higher caliber. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to make anyone feel bad that's outside of your like high class circle, but you know, you've achieved it by accepting it. That's what I'm going to say. So, God, goddess form. Your gateway leads to that. Yeah. I'm going to give this a flip. Thank you. As I carry on through the palms. Oh, I just wandered into a crystal cave. 13 shaman in the cave of winds of the mind, and he is blowing in or inhaling or exhaling the smoke of spirit. Like, this is a room where the gods and goddesses are. If you've ever seen the show American Gods, and at some point, like they're like waitresses, they're this, they're that, but they're god form. This is how I'm seeing you. It's amazing. I love it. So that's why I wandered into this crystal cave, specifically working with amethyst, which I have a feeling is like it at this point in time, it's been like an initiate or initiatory through the third eye. It's not going to stay there. It's like the third eye is the root here. That's like base, Everybody's got their cave here, and that might even be how you access it. Love it. You also might work with shaman energy, because that's the thing. There's so many different kinds of prophets here. Yeah, there's just different kinds of prophecies and prophets, different points of view. And it's like you all get together, it's like being out in the smoking section. Exhale. You're like, yeah. Take a little brandy break with your cup in the crystal cave. Maybe this is where you meet as well. You know what's funny? This all feels very, very important. And yet, even the way I'm sitting, I feel like I'm being too casual about this message. I'm like, I am being way too casual for how this is like the importance of it, the glad that you've taken this direction or persevering. And I kind of feel like in a moment, like I'm just as Steph, I'm like, oh, I feel bad because I'm kind of like, oh, but this is honestly how it feels. There isn't a heaviness to this, to this weight class, to this higher class. It's just higher. It's not like fighting. It's not like wrestling or weight classes of heaviness, or it's different. And I keep hearing like you can have a sense of humor here. We're not stuffy. You do take your task very seriously. And that's the foundation here. It's like even the biggest god or goddess, the oldest shaman, all have an inner child that is nurtured because they know that is part of the gateway, duality, because they know. This is in the cave of hearth fires. There's also the presence of purifying. And I wonder if it's in that, because even as I was wandering through, like, oh, am I like way too casual for this place? No. It's on, there's something about earnesty here. Earnest energy. A lot of essence too. It's essence. Hmm. Okay, sorry, one moment. Something about pliers. I think they're pliers. They might be pliers. And also, I'm not sure if you can see it down in here. I'm going to call it the Spear of Destiny. And this shape, if I was to turn it back up here for a second, right there, is right there. It's you. There's a white flower crown. Hmm. Has somebody here felt like a cast out? What is that term? When somebody feels cast out of society or something like that. Like it's almost easier to mingle with these energies than it is to sometimes, maybe just feeling than to mingle with the human folk, your human aspect. It's like being duality. You might be a hybrid. You might have, and however you might relate to that, hybrid of starseed or alien ancestors to human. You might be a hybrid mixed race. You might be a hybrid of religions or locations, like where your parents are from. But there's something really important that I want to know about you. And somehow your destiny hasn't been designed by someone else for you in a weird, like you must follow this route or else. This has been, you've looked at this, and as you walk it, it's like you are the one sending up, instead of downloads, you're sending uploads to say, this is the information. And then it is being, any changes or addendums are being made based on you, your work, your views, how you feel about humanities and the hurts and the celebrations and the glories and the falls. So you're like an uploader. Yeah, I feel very confident. Again, it's all very up higher. Higher and higher. Thank you. Yeah, there's a big old smile coming through, stitching a smile as well. There's a lot of busyness here. I could say it feels like a little Five of Wandsy. This is the way I'm gonna say it. And if you're still here, then I feel like you know it as well. It's all very petty. And it feels petty and problematic because it distracts you from doing what you're really here to do. So you choose, of course, is there value in it you want to play with? I don't know what you're going to do, but this, yeah. Scissors. I just saw scissors. In the Cave of Rivers is focus. Is that a panther? Maybe is it a panther? Cheetah? Cheetah or panther? If somebody's recently gone through somebody cheating on them, obviously I don't have a solution. I'm just acknowledging that that is something to go through, and you will come through with class, grace, composure. That doesn't mean you can't be angry, doesn't mean you can't be sad, or all of the things, but you definitely, it's good that you know. It sucks, but it's good that you know. It's like some sort of shock collar just came off. So I'll leave it at that. Shock collar just came off. I feel like emotionally in the Cave of Rivers, like if you're taking in, and you maybe want to watch 1 too, because like this light is coming through that was very much so in 1. And this is like a security for this place in which you reside. And I almost want to say, like, see the top of this is like the top of there. So also something about Parmesan cheese. That's nice. High quality cheeses. Hmm. So this space where you have access through the third eye, however you get there, might even be through breathwork, mudras. I feel like there's a movement or something I do that activates this on behalf of you. It's almost like I feel like I'm in a jungle and you wouldn't know there's a structure there until you start moving the vines or the trees. But kind of like when you go, because I'm in like this astral realm of sorts, which is probably in the garden through the gates. As you walk through, it's like those lights that automatically turn on by motion. But if you're somebody else trying to be spying, or if they're really curious about what you're doing, I feel like they have to manually move those things, and it slows them down, and actually things become heavier and heavier and heavier. It's exactly the way I saw it, and I feel like it makes perfect sense to me. So you focus on you. It's not selfish unless you know you're being selfish about it. You can admit it to yourself. Is that weird? Is that weird to say? Also, there's something about a doll from when you were young. I don't know if it's like a Raggedy Ann or Andy or some sort of doll. Never mind. Never mind. Hmm. Cave of Earth. I feel like creation. I love it. I feel as though on the bottom is expansion. Okay. Message could be for 1. Thank you for holding space. It's like covering your drink when you're at a bars to make sure nobody puts anything in your drink that would make you fall asleep. Okay. Just throwing it out there. Be very, very mindful if you are a dweller of said establishments. Because again, I feel like I'm talking to the boosh. Now, that doesn't mean that it does, maybe those things don't happen at quote unquote a higher level, humanly speaking. So just always be very, very mindful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something about protection here. So keeping your wits about you, covering your drink, no matter whether you're at a dive bar or top of some brilliant building bar. I don't care. In this moment, very clearly, keep your wits about you because you will become the eye of focus of someone or something, no matter what level or hierarchy this is in. It's like some things that you're well aware of don't go away because people have more money or better clothes. There's something about human nature here. Okay, so that's that. And then it's also seeing the purse, keeping your purse closed, the contents of that, your identification. This feels like, I don't want it to sound so ugly, but it's part and parcel. And maybe there's something heightened in your area, or places that you're going. There's a trend going on, or something's just at a high, and that might be your cue to go low, you know? Uh, yeah, creation, cave of earth. And I love this in like the pentacle land, earth element, however you might resonate or receive in that. Because this is like a multi-dimensional sip. Sipping, one of those drinks you would sip. It kind of feels like sometimes the human experience can be like the hard liquor of things. I am not a drinker, so I hope I'm using these terms right. But there's like a hard liquor about it. And then there's like lagers. I really don't know. Spirits of sorts. But whatever you are kind of like formulating for yourself, I'm going to get back to this. I feel like you're well aware. You're going to do your due diligences and take care of you. Make sure you focus on you. But in regards to this god, goddess, shaman duality, these parents coming forward of creating you as the spear of destiny. So really it's like taking a hold of that as maybe even, a shank or a weapon, and using that to defend your, and I don't want to say it like that, like it's so eepy cray, like I gotta defend your destiny or divinity. But there is a story here. There's something about this. You absolutely have energies, pretty big guardians that you can call upon and connect with to help you. Absolutely. Thank you. Cave of Earth came in very clearly as that shaman exhaled and the goddess inhaled. It's creating your destiny for you. It's not something that's been decided. And you are expanding upon, it's like adding a renovation to what was, what could have been. Because I'm not sure, maybe you even give yourself enough credit for how much vision you have and visions you have too. The visionary. I don't even think historically if a visionary has ever been like readily accepted. Maybe they have been, and that's amazing. But have they also been taken advantage of? Has their inventions been taken? Has somebody said, "Ooh, I see that talent or that skill," and a company will want to sweep you up to be on their team, right? So, yeah, you got talent, kid. Something's going on. You're a visionary. And I also think that in general, as again, this whole like closing out message here, oh my goodness, yammering on, just lots of third eye. This flame turns into the flower of life. That's how it expands. One flame becomes a whole flower of life that is a candle. So the flame is always lit, the torchbearer of sorts. I don't even know what else I can say. It's incredible, but it also means, at least in this space, it's like a little extra cautious. It's like if you're famous, and I assume they need extra security, right? Precautions. All right. I hope this did serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. I will see you next Saturday for our weekly pick a card reading. You can check out the House of Scrying. Link is in the description box below if you would like to join me over there for in-between stories. And if not, until next time. So much love. Bye. Stay hydrated. Let's go, number 3. Let's go. All right, here is your Inkblot, your tile, your third eye tile. If you want to take it in, any shapes or symbols that are speaking to your psyche and psychic senses, comment below that you chose to look here. And your card, your tarot card, is 21, the World. Melted crayons, melting popsicles. So I feel like colors of consciousness, that's how I'm going to place this. Maybe it's energy for you. I'm also seeing tears fall like rainbows because there's lots of umbrellas, different kinds of umbrellas here. I'm also seeing something about the Truman Show, curiously enough, but the Truman Show. I'm seeing somebody juggle a pearl necklace. No, not Batman. Pac-Man. All these little dots. So there's lots of spirit around you. Ghosts, spirit, ghouls, orbs, however you want to relate into them. It's like all of them. Now you have a really good boundary. You also could be working with Metatron. Metatron energy. That's big old eyes here. It's leading me into the angelic realm, but not necessarily the angels that look like those angels. Angels that look like geometry. So it's bringing me back to Metatron. Ask. You know, do it the way you will. And there's lots of, yeah, I feel like you juggle knowing a lot of things. I'm very third eye throat energy here, teals and blues. So you can also like work with heart spaces, but it's kind of like the heart is where you work from. The heart is your basement, your bottom line. Like you, dare I even say, your gateway here is the heart. The gateway is the heart. Your root, sacral, solar plexus, etc. Like in that chunk of chakra systems, you work in the higher realms, but the heart is the basement of that. That's the gateway here. Even though there's a focus on how you see and feel the world, maybe even through words. If you write, automatic writing, or if you are a channeler, and it doesn't have to be anything magical or psychic even. It can be in beautifully material, and the way you teach or interact, make sandwiches, pump gas. When somebody is good at what they do, being a cook in a restaurant, being a coffee maker, when somebody is good and gives a hoot about what they're doing, not because about what they're doing is defining them, but because they're just good at being good at it. Whatever you decide to do, tie a shoe, you're doing it well because you got heart. That's your basement, your bottom line. This is very also much so like no bull. And dare I even say, it's like the root, sacral, solar plexus are healed. And so now you're seeing the world in from this perspective, and you've got a really healthy boundary. But you also have like this ability, or your auric energy can feel very acrobatic. Yeah, it feels acrobatic. Like a Cirque du Soleil. I feel happy. Spirit communication 20. Oh, isn't that hilarious? 21 and 21. 21 days, 21. Yeah, okay. Or 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. And if you haven't been to the House of Scrying, we've recently done Life Path Destiny Angel number 3. So you might want to check that out. That's in the Cave of Ice. So this is like de-thawing. This is something prehistoric. This is like an oh, okay. Ooh. Do you speak with ancestors specifically? It's like the difference of being a psychic or a medium. And you might be more into the medium landscape, not so much just about ancestors, but maybe their spirit guides or their spirit team, and or interesting, whatever attachments there are to someone or someone if they step forward to you. You do not need to do this professionally. That actually doesn't make it more so than if you don't do this professionally, but maybe you do. For somebody here, you do this professionally. Ensure that hula hoop of safety. is there. It just seems very, very important. I'm seeing a lot of tears as well, but it feels like energy releases. So you might also be going through healing, but it's almost like through the sensation of like the heart being the bottom line right now, the throat and third eye. And as you're feeling and sensing things, and like the rain pours down, Truman Show in that one scene when he's sitting on the beach and it's only raining on him and he realizes that. But it rains down on the root, solar plexus, and sacral. And that seems to be how it's coming through to me. So if that makes any sort of sense. So they do still communicate, just through a different medium of energy and physicality. And to some degree or another could also be very, very refreshing. You also maybe want to take a look at, for those that are here as well, that you don't sorry, hold on, my eye is itchy. Where was I? Oh, for heavens and hot dogs. Take a look at your own attachments as well. Yeah. It's like you say, you also take your own advice that maybe you give others personally or professionally. And even if you don't do this professionally, this might be just who you are in your friend circle, your family circle, or not your family circle, because maybe they don't accept it or see you that way. Well, that's fine. That is not the meaning. That is not the be all end all of acceptance. But you respect that. So this could be a friend zone. You might also be working with telepathy and electricity, most specifically. Electricity. Yeah, because there's a head here as well. There's something about it. Okay, so there's something about the psychology of that. And there's also something about a closed loop or a closed system. Yeah. The third eye, I'm seeing hands. I'm seeing hands come together. Power of prayer. Cave of winds in the mind. It's part of that. It's like psyche prayer. Is that a thing? We're calling it right here, even if it isn't. The psyche can help with the electromagnetism of prayer. Maybe. I don't know, but this is how it feels right here. Psyche prayer. I'm going to read the back of it. For prayer to the divine source should be a part of any medium's regular routine. Okay. So however you want to do that, religious, cultural, your own personal form of prayer, yes, you are heard. I'm also going to note just for 1 second here. There's just a lot going on. I'm seeing a comb and a polka dotted bow tie. And it's almost like, maybe for some, I don't know if you're feeling like a circus freak, or there's just a lot going on. It's like all that juggling. To be honest with you, I'm not sure why there's so much going on. It's actually unnecessary, is how I'm feeling it. But it could be excitable energy. And then I'm like, oh, okay. But like in this moment, I'm like, it's almost like a weird panic attack. Or at least that's how I'm being receptive of it. And you could be like, oh, Steph, please, I'm so good. A million things going on. I'm over here in this realm, this and this and this. I'm good. And I'm like, I'm so impressed, amazed, because I'm like ready to have an anxiety attack. It's like, it's too much. There's too many things going on. But I'm just acknowledging it for in case there's somebody else wondering. It's like, when you reach, and you'll know that by leaning into it. But I wanted to just say anyway, there's something about streamlining, a little bit more streamlining, maybe even as a caveat. That feels like a bougie word. I'm loving it. I feel like there's a weird irony here that I'm asking for help or asking for clarity. But I feel like whatever you turn towards, like, you have clarity on. So it's a really interesting thing. See somebody also praying with their feet. Creative expression in the cave of hearth fires. This is a butterfly. So you know all about karma traps, I'm going to call it. Why did I say karma traps? That's a weird thing to say. First of all, you're a breath of fresh air. Because I'm in the baseline of the heart. I'm going to flip the ink blot. Thank you. It's like a spider with 8 legs, and all 8 legs are doing something, and I stuff with 2. I'm like, what is going on? So there's all these extensions of expression, and I feel like being able to take a breath is important. If I can't pause, I.e. me, in whatever realm this is in regards to, pause and be in my own company, what I want to say is like checking into like your whole self health, you know? Yeah. Did I say that well? I also want to know that you are now coloring your metamorphosis differently than you did before. So you've had many a metamorphosis, but your medium this time is changing. And I say that in it's like paint by numbers and then adding bling. What is that thing when I was a kid? The bedazzler. You're like, could I add a little bedazzle to this? Maybe you're adding a little, whatever you might do. Or like when people decorate cars and paint cars. Some like it when it looks old and rough and rusty, but it's like clear coated and like quite expensive. There's like a whole new thing here. And also something about you're not reinventing the wheel, so have fun. It can be a lot of fun. It might take some pressure off as well. Feels really good. Whew. In the cave of rivers is meditation. Please take care of your holistic health, whole health. This isn't in hyperfixation or doing 1,000 things. I kind of want to say like just being, breathing, pausing, keeping your flame clean and clear. It's important. It's important because who and what you communicate with, the things that you step into. Again, it's like seeing these angel characters or geometry. Maybe it's math, constellations. I don't know what it is. I could even say like the layer behind the reality. Okay. And being able to see the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, and while it's typically in that space like the Emerald City, this is not emerald. This is all very blue. You might actually might maybe you don't consider yourself, but I'm going to say here in this gateway that you've awakened. Haha, by stepping in here and being here. You might actually be a healer and reluctant to claim such a thing, say such a thing. Hmm. Inspiration, 11 on the bottom. I'm seeing a Hershey's kiss. There's something about it back in that eye. Somebody with a hat or a man with a hat on. It's a little haunty, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit of a haunty feel, but maybe for you, you're like, nah. There's also something about a bathtub. I don't know if this is a past life I'm in or here and now, and it feels like an emotional drowning. Or if in a past life you're aware that you drowned. But I'm blatantly seeing a bathtub. A wishbone. Where's this? Cave of Earth. Creating sacred space. It's all very cleansing and it's all very healing. And however you would go about that. Yeah, because you do. You blend. It's like, do you know what it's like? This is a curious way. And I don't really know how to place it, but I'm just going to say it. It's like the placebo effect for the psyche, or the placebo, which by giving maybe the psyche something of a placebo, but it opens up something for you or someone else, or just by being in your company or being in your aura that you give access to. Of course, again, strong boundaries, keep it solid. But that opens for others the possibilities that maybe they have been praying for their personal power, hence why it's a placebo, because in that it's like the power in that person or you to express through themselves the opening or the healing. It's like, I don't want to say opening the wound to heal. Ugh, that's so weird. I'm going to say maybe opening the sacred space within to inspire their own healing, to inspire maybe past lives is a focus right now, or it's very prominent in your circle or in top in even inner child things to adolescence, however you want to call it. The heart being your baseline, everything that's like the door. But it's like giving somebody a placebo and saying this is going to help you. Now, this might be information. This could be a helping hand, whatever the case is. But you are the power of that. That's a curious thing to say. That you are like the power of the placebo effect. But it's kind of amazing. No, I feel like it's amazing anyway. Woo. It's all very purifying as well. If I didn't give that impression, because again, all that crying and raining, and even though there's a my throat is starting to close up, and that's completely fine because it's part of that expression. And it's almost like I can hear you saying to me, so if your throat is starting to close up, that's fine. Let's wander to somewhere else in the body. Let's wander to somewhere else in the mind and see what isn't closing right now. Like truly, I think you're like a master healer or something like that. And maybe it's because you've done this for yourself first. This is by experience. You know, this isn't just book dot dot da. You know, here's and now go. Here's the instructions. This is truly like built on experience. All right, closing out messages. I hope that made sense. I hope it made sense enough that it has done some justice of what I'm feeling here. Benefactor, grace and generosity. Because you're super generous. And I love that about you. But not so generous that you're depleted. Keep an eye on your own attachments. Because there could be... It's almost like when you can see people are very much so attached to things in the mind, body, metaphysical body, etc. Or they're telling the way they speak. And you're like, okay, you can tap into those layers of languages to connect with them. I love it. Okay. Yes. I just got a note as well. 3 This has come up recently in the House of Scrying. We've done the Life Path, Angel Dust and Nimber. You're welcome to check it out. But I was seeing parents up here as well, and I'm noticing that these benefactors, they are just smitten like hamsters. Happy, 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 joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. These feel like at least grandparents once removed. So maybe is that like parents, their parents, or the parents' parents, something along that lines. Is there any other messages for number 3? Eye of the needle, thank you. Intentionality. So I'll be honest. There, as I was sitting there thinking, check in with your intentions, and I feel like that's a wise thing to do. Like, you are a master medium, master meditator. If not, find your ways of balancing those two, I would say. So just like each wing of your metamorphosis, not only have you gone through your own metamorphosis, you help others go through their own metamorphosis. And just as a little creating sacred space, I just want to note over here, and when that came through, how do I say it? Okay, so there's pins here, obviously with the needles, and there's pins. And it's like, what is that? Thank you. Acupuncture? Acupuncture. Which can lead a little bit into like a little creepy, like the what is it, the dolls, you know, just what's the intention? I feel like acupressure, acupuncture has this healing thing. Maybe I don't know. And it's activating electricity or the meridians through the lines, and it's all very helpful, connecting maybe neural pathways. And then there's something about, putting the pin needles into the dolls, which now feels external, and it feels debilitating in order for, and maybe you notice this in the psyche or in your healing things, and in order for one or some to feel healthier or better, they debilitate something or someone else, right? Is that, maybe that's the least douchebag way I can say that. But you can see that and you're like, okay, well, why are you doing that? You don't need to debilitate anybody else to be better, feel better, or to heal, including oneself. It's like, imagine if that doll was, or that was you, right? Doing it to you. What's the intention? It's acupressure. In this example, oh my gosh, I'm so far outside of my comfort zone. It's like putting in the needles in acupuncture to ignite the essence of that, the electricity. I don't know. Maybe it's also in the brain. You might be like a cranial reader, something along that lines, Indian head massage, whatever the case is. You know, and I think that you know that you know, and anyways, you get the gist, I want to note that even in the spirit of all these needles, they have been pulled out of you. So I'm going to focus on you. This is what has freed your gateway of the heart. It's like taking those all out. And however you've decided to place them has like reignited something in you. Feels good. It's that electric spark. But they had to be pulled out first in that like weird, I can't remember what it's called. Like, it's completely fleeting my face right now, and that's fine. It all feels very purifying. Like a rebirth and opportunities, if maybe you weren't open to them because you're being very protective over a time in your life where you're healing and pulling out these needles or porcupines or, damn it, whatever they're called. But you've kept them, cleansed them, honored them. You've done your process, and now your teachings and knowings can use them Yes, properly. And it's an opportunity. And you know this. There's also something about your inner child. Please take time to play. Please take time to play, because I understand in some way, shape, or form, and however you've gotten here in your breakthroughs and through maybe even very serious breakdowns, but the way you've done this is beautiful. The way you help others personally or professionally is beautiful. But to be open to opportunities, sometimes there's play there. And in order to see those opportunities, you can't be busy doing just random things for the sake of juggling a million things. So balance, baby, balance. Anyway, I hope this should serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. Masta meditation, meditata, Masta. It's wonderful. Congratulations on the work that you've done, that you'll continue to do. And please know that you are helping. Heal the world. Make it a better place. Till next time. So much love.